Good morning. It went live and I didn't even notice. Good morning. I am so late this morning. I am sorry. I'm usually prompt and on time, but something unexpected came up this morning. I have been working with a client, which is obviously what I do for a living, what I love doing for a living. And sometimes, because I'm also neurodiverse, I get a little distracted. So sorry for being late. I'm not usually this tardy. I am just flicking through now my notes. This is how late I am. I haven't even got my notes on the desk. How bad is that? It's not that you're not important, because you are really important. And I do like to share all of my top tips and knowledge and all of that stuff with you. But also I have got clients to serve. Anyway, hello and good morning. How are you? Because I'm going live on all platforms, which I covered last week on my live, I have changed my evening live on a Tuesday at 7 p.m. to 11 a.m. at the moment, because I am trying to navigate several health issues and get myself to a place where I can actually stay awake past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, it's necessity that's actually had to pull this to a daytime live. Anyway, for those platforms that don't know me as well, I am Mandy Nicholson. I am the Creative Genius Consultant. I'm an artist, an author. I am a creative retreat owner here in Scotland, and I help creative and neurodiverse women to launch, grow, and scale their businesses and make more money. Good morning, Tracy. So I may see some of the comments from some of the platforms, but I may not see your comments on here. If you do comment, I will come back to you. So good morning. Let's talk about sales this morning. That's what I wanted to drop on and chat about, because it doesn't matter where I am with clients at the moment, whether it's in my membership, the Creative Business Academy, whether it's in my premium program, the Creative Mastermind, whether it's in general conversation with clients and with people in my network. The big elusive thing at the moment is sales. And it's really, it seems like a bit of an epidemic at the moment. People are almost leaning into the economy is not in a good place, whereas actually sales is more than the economy. And a lot of really successful businesses come out of a downturn in the economy and difficult times really buoyant, and having built their businesses when everybody else. You're also neurodiverse, Tracy. I can see, right? Okay, join the good company here. Join the good company. So am I. I am undiagnosed, but probably autistic. And at 58, I'm not bothering to get a diagnosis, but I do help a lot of neurodiverse women. In fact, probably 50% of my clients are neurodiverse that come through the Creative Mastermind and other areas. It makes you extremely special, extremely creative, and wonderful to work with. And I love working with neurodiverse women. So sales, yeah. Sales for me, and I wanted to talk about it openly and really honestly today. Sales and converting to sales is about your mindset. First and foremost, if you are in the mindset of sales are difficult, it's difficult to charge what I'm worth. I can't charge that price. People are not going to buy this. If that's the internal dialogue that is going on in your head right now, that's like sales 101. Because if you don't believe that you can convert into sales, then it's not going to happen. All right, so that's where we have to start when we want to generate more turnover, when we want to generate sales. And then the second question we ask is, have I got the procedures in place to be able to make sales easy for the customer? So those are the kind of first couple of places that I would start when we're starting to talk about selling, selling your products, selling your services, selling whatever it is that you're creating. So this is not a whole, this is how to make a sale, although I'm going to give you some tips today. This is about you and your mindset, and then it's about the processes that you have in place. So here's what customers want. Think about yourself as a customer. When you're going to make a purchase, you're going to make that purchase based on emotions and how you feel. Okay. That's how you've got to sell it to the customer. They don't want to know what it can do for them. They want to know how it's going to make them feel. So if I'm selling a program to you, I'm not selling a program. I'm selling a transformation of your life. I'm going to make you feel more confident, more able to do the things that you want to do in your business. I'm selling a feeling. I'm selling the feeling of confidence, of success, of competency, of all of those things that you perhaps are not feeling at the moment. So whatever your product is, it's about the feeling. And if your product is a piece of creative work, whether that's a painting, whether that's a craft product, whether it's a sculpture, whether it's a mosaic, whatever it is, it's you're bringing to people instant gratification. You're bringing to people something that's beautiful, something that's going to enhance their living space, something that's going to make them feel good every time they look at it, because it's going to either bring back memories or make them feel something. So this is what you've got to get behind when selling and understand. You've then got to make their sales process really easy. 1 click, 2 clicks. If it's 4 clicks, they're not going to buy. So you've got to look at your processes. Have you got the ability to be able to make that sale really quickly? So it's your mindset. It's knowing the feeling that you're going to bring to your customer. This is before we get into any of the nitty-gritty of how to make sales. I've been out of action with my business for quite some time now. I'm trying to pick it up, but I've lost faith in myself. So somebody's just made this comment. It's on Facebook. I don't know which platform yet because I'm out on so many platforms. I hear this so much. I've lost faith in myself. I don't feel like I can ask for the sale. I don't think people are going to buy my product or buy my service. Why would they? Why would they pay this for something that I've produced? I hear this so often, so often. And this is really, that's why I started with mindset. I start everything with mindset. Sales starts with mindset. Okay. When you absolutely 100% know that your service or your product is of high value and is going to have a major impact on the person that's going to buy it. And I don't care if that is like, a crystal. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a piece of rock, whether it's a painting, whether it's a premium coaching program, it really doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. The product or service is irrelevant. It's about the feeling and it's about you and your confidence in your product. I know when people join my creative mastermind, they're going to leave at the end of it knowing their shit. They're going to have the infrastructure and foundations for a really successful business, because over the 12 months they work with me, I teach them how to do this. So I know that I help people and I know that my product and services is really valuable. So you've got to get to that place. And that's one of the first things I work on with these ladies who don't have that. So I get that completely. And I'm so sorry you feel like that. Your first step is you and your mindset to get your faith back in you and your talent and your area of genius, whatever it is that you are selling. So the next step, sales is a process. Honestly, sales is a process. It's about all of the things that you hear everybody talking about everywhere in social media land. Your ideal customer, knowing them and knowing how you're going to make them feel. It's about you and your mindset. And then it's about making offers and telling people what you have, but in a non-cheesy way. So that's really important. You're not selling the product, you're selling a feeling. And you're not making a sale, you're building a relationship. This is what's important in terms of sales at the moment, particularly when times are hard and when people are thinking twice before they make a purchase. So normally, I think sort of several years ago when I started out, people had to see your product or service like 7 times before they bought it. And this has probably been updated since 3 months ago when I last used these figures. People now have to see your product or service up to 33 times before they'll make the buying decision. So it's really vital that you are showing up regularly and making offers and telling people what it is that you do that can help them feel better, whether that is a product or a service. So you've got to be consistent. And if you've lost faith in yourself, or you're caught in this, oh, society is awful and things are bad, then you don't show up as regularly. You're not as consistent because you've got this underlying thing that's holding you back, and it's fear. And when you lose faith in yourself, or you're doubting yourself, or you're doubting your products, or you're doubting your pricing, then fear sits behind what you're doing, and your confidence in showing up is not as clear. So sales is all about you. It's all about you. Have you ever come across somebody where they're talking about their product so passionately? They're telling you all of the features and benefits and all of the reasons why emotionally you're going to connect with this product. Coca-Cola do it really well. I use them as an example all the time. They do not sell a product. They sell a lifestyle. They sell a feeling. Yeah, it feels great to be drinking Coke in the hot sun if you're a youngster living your life to the full. And that's what their imagery and their video shows when you are watching those adverts on TV. So if you do a half-assed post with a click here to buy at the bottom, and it's not engaged people or caught their emotional connection, then you're not going to make the sale. So I want you to think about rewriting your sales posts and going from, buy my product to here's how you're going to feel. So if I gave you a little example, let's give you an example right now, shall I? Just signing into because I'm actually talking about sales this week in my group, Creative Genius Corner. So if you're not in Creative Genius Corner, get yourself over there. So let's say you're an artist and you want to sell paintings. Okay. So here's 3 things that you can say if somebody has commented on your post. So you're sharing your work, you're showing the world your work, and you're being visible, and you've seen somebody comment 2 or 3 times. This is really important when it comes to sales. So you can go in and start a conversation and maybe reply to them, or, you could say, I noticed that you've liked and commented on my latest painting. Where in your home can you see it positioned? So you're asking them an open question and starting to engage them in conversation about something that they've liked. So ask yourself this: would you like a post if you didn't like it? If the answer to that is no, then you've got to assume if someone is liking your artwork or liking it, that they genuinely like it, particularly if they've liked it more than once. So your job is to follow up. This is how to make sales. So once you've started to engage them in that conversation, I noticed you liked and comment on my latest painting. Where in your home can you see it positioned? When they reply, you can ask questions like, how would owning an original piece of art make you feel? Try to elicit the emotion from them. And then once you've engaged them in conversation, your closing question could be, is this incredible piece something you could see yourself owning? This is where you're going to go with sales. It's really important that you have this level of follow-up, this engaging conversation. So you're showing this amazing new painting that you've done, that you've priced properly at £1,000, and you've got this person who's kind of stalking it. You've shared several images of it over social media, and they've liked them all. They may have even commented, stunning. Yeah. So when are you going to jump in and build a relationship with that person? That's the question I want to ask you today, because I make sterling silver jewelry and I always find it difficult to price. Yeah, so that's Tracy on LinkedIn again asking that question. Beautiful sterling silver jewelry. And if it's homemade, is it designed by you? So it's beautiful. And how's that? Imagine the feeling of putting a beautiful silver ring on or bracelet. You feel really good, don't you? And it enhances how you feel. It's not about how you look. or it's about how that piece makes you feel. So when people are commenting, it's about the conversation that you elicit from them in order to close that sale. This is so important with sales. And what I see happening a lot is I see people not being visible, not sharing their work, and then not following up on comments or likes. So that's the disaster area. That's my sales disaster area. No follow-up, no acknowledgement when people are going, wow, that's stunning. You've got to get this set of questions in your head of what can I ask based on my industry. So I've just given you those 3 simple questions there. Change them for your industry. All right. I noticed this. I noticed you liked. I noticed you commented. You know, where in your home can you see it positioned? If it's a piece of jewelry, where would you wear this piece if you were going out? Yeah. Think about those questions. How would owning an original piece of jewelry that sterling silver jewelry make you feel? Yeah, is this incredible piece something that you could see yourself owning? This is where you're going to start the conversations. And they may say something like, yes, I could see myself owning it. I couldn't possibly afford it right now. Well, you can go back straight in there and go, well, actually, I do payment plans. And you could buy this piece just by making a deposit today and securing this piece. So this is your opportunity to convert conversation into sales. Much better to take a deposit and secure the sale, than to let that potential customer disappear into the ether. Because believe me, when they're on the scroll, they'll see something else within 5 minutes that takes their attention. They'll have forgotten about your thing. And that's the disaster where sales, you've literally got seconds to get their attention and then minutes to retain their attention before they're off on something else. So sales starts with mindset. It starts with how you're seeing yourself and how you're believing in yourself in terms of, I'm worthy and charging the right price. It starts with that. Showing up consistently and being highly, highly visible so that you can tick the 33 times of people seeing your amazing work. And then this engagement at a level that you've probably not even thought about before. So one of the things I want you to do today is go back through your social media and just do a little exercise and see how often you've had a positive comment from somebody on something that you've shared. And look at how many times you haven't followed that up. You haven't gone in and made that into a conversation. Because if you can find them, every single one of them is a potential lost sale. So that's what I want you to do today. Go back over your social media for the last week or so, the last couple of weeks, and look at how many comments that you've had that you possibly could have engaged in conversation. And I know it feels a bit icky. I know that you don't like doing it. But if I like something and comment on it, it means I really like it. If then somebody comes along and says, I noticed you commented on this, where could you see it? I would answer them. I'd have a conversation with them. Even if I really wasn't ready to buy, it would move me up in that. I wouldn't need to see it another 33 times because I've made and built a relationship with the seller by having a conversation with them. I'd be thinking about it. It would put me psychologically into buying mode because somebody bothered to have that conversation. So I've got another comment here. Last time I posted on Instagram is the 8th of April. I've written a social media plan today. I have content for the next 14 days. I need to be more consistent and visible. Yes, you do, because people can't comment on your thing if you are not posting it, if you're not highly visible. So that's your first thing. It starts with you and believing that you are worthy to have your slot. Think about it. There's some people selling complete shite out there and selling it. They're not selling it because it's good. They're selling it because they're in your face every single day, planting the idea in your head. Have you ever bought something because you've seen it and seen it and seen it and quite liked it and liked the look of it? Bought it, got it, and it's a pile of crap. It looked better in the photograph than it was when you opened the box, and you're disappointed. But you've kept it because actually you've made that decision and you've bought it. And that happens a lot. There's people selling complete crap out there, and they're selling it. And it's not because they've got a great product or service. It's because they're in your face. They're highly visible. So there's your first thing. You're worthy, you're worth it, your pricing is right, and you're charging what you're worth. You're highly visible, talking passionately about your product. You're hitting that emotional connection of how it can have an impact on how somebody feels. You're doing that no matter what it is. And then you're following up by engaging people in conversation. Start that conversation, please, because that's everything. And that is, for me, sales 101. There's no secret formula that can change your sales. Yes, you could go and spend £10,000 on Facebook ads, yeah, and you might actually generate some sales from that. There's no guarantees, but you might. Right, okay, I've got one person there. Tracy again, I've lost a lot of sales. I'm on Instagram as a sole adornment and moved from being a hobby to being a business. Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, this is where you've got to work harder. As soon as you change to business, you've got to work harder and you've got to have a business strategy. Yeah, that's the key to it all. So those are your key tips for today. There's no secret, as I was saying there, there's no secret formulas, secret sauce, mega blueprints. Follow my 7 steps to sales, follow my top tips on sales. Here I can guarantee you're going to become a millionaire in 6 months. There's none of that. Sales is about building personal relationships with people. It's about you taking the time to be really visible, showing your products, showing your services, showing yourself, showing up, making the emotional connection, following up, follow up, follow up, follow up every single time, and being ready with a quick, easy way that people can make the purchase like that. So if we were talking and I was talking about my book and you were like, oh God, I'd love to read that, I could go, right, well, here's the link. Here's the link to buy it from Amazon today. I could give you that one-step purchase of click and you've ordered it. Okay, so make sure you've got that for absolutely everything, to make everything easy. What we want as consumers these days is everything to be easy. And we've become so remote because of that. When you step in and you start to build personal conversations and relationships with people, you stand out. You're different, because loads of people don't do that. So there you go. I told you I was going to talk about sales. You probably didn't think I was going to do that and talk about it this way, but that's the way I've chosen to do it today, because that's what works for me. And I can only share with you what works for me. And I've got very successful businesses. Even my bricks and mortar business, people come back here for retreats again and again, and for bed and breakfast again and again, because while they're here, I make them feel special. I make them feel like this was the break of a lifetime. We go over and above. We make cakes. We've had rhubarb cake and banana bread this week for the guests. We look after them. What platforms do I use? Would like to find you on them all, please. Okay, so what platforms do I use? All of them. LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, I'm on it. My website's mandynicholson.co.uk and theartbankdalbeatty.com. You'll find me everywhere. Honestly, you'll find me everywhere. There's lots of links. If you go to my personal profile, all the links to pretty much everything are there. I'm also on Amazon under my pen name, AJ King and Mandy Nicholson. So I'm everywhere. Yeah, I am highly visible for the reason that I'm talking to you about it today. So good luck with that. Do let me know if this has made you think and if it makes a difference. Yeah, and join me on all my networks. I'll put the link in the comments to my group, Creative Genius Corner. I share lots of stuff in there on a daily. So have an awesome week, everybody. I will see you same time, same place next week, and go and make some money. That's what we're here for. Bye for now.